So, just yesterday, I was talking about Piers Morgan calling Erik Ten Hag a complete idiot. Now Cristiano Ronaldo has some choice words to say. Before we get into it, guys, hit the like button, comment down below what you think about Cristiano Ronaldo and what he said, and subscribe to the channel. And without any further ado, guys, let's roll. Cristiano Ronaldo criticizes Ten Hag and says Man United must rebuild everything. Cristiano Ronaldo has criticized Manchester United manager Erik Ten Hag and said the club must rebuild everything in order to compete for football's biggest prizes again. The Dutch boss is under pressure after United's 8th place finish last season, their lowest in Premier League history, and 2 defeats in their opening 3 games at the start of this season. And Ronaldo, who has had 2 spells at the club before leaving for Saudi Arabian side Al Nassr, questioned Ten Hag's mentality. The coach, he's talking about Erik Ten Hag, says they cannot compete to win the Premier League and Champions League. He told the Rio Ferdinand podcast, which comes out on Thursday. As Manchester United coach, you cannot say that you're not going to fight to win the league or the Champions League, which I agree with. If you're a Manchester United coach and you're coming out saying, I can't win the league or the Champions League, something's wrong. The mentality is not there. You got to have the belief in the mentality that you can win. We're Manchester United. We're acting like Barnsley or something, or Ipswich. You know, like, why are we acting like a low-level team? We're Man United. You know, Man United have been somewhere before. Like, we've won trophies, we won Premier Leagues, we won Champions Leagues. We've been that team, but we're not acting like it right now. It's unbelievable, man. It's the mentality. The standards have dropped over the past decade that I've been watching Man United. I've been a fan of this team since 2014. The standards are dropping. They're dropping. Now people saying, oh, you know, if we finish top 4 and win the FA Cup again, that's good. Oh, if we finish top 4. What is this with this top 4? If you finish 4th, you're 3rd loser. Or 4th loser. I don't know. Yeah, you're 3rd loser. You know? And then Ten Hag came out and said that we had the 2nd most trophies behind Man City in some interview or whatever before, like, you know, when we lost to Liverpool or something. Man City are going for 5 Premier League titles this season. 5 in a row. They have dominated. And we're talking about an FA Cup and an EFL Cup. Like, the EFL Cup is whatever. That's 4th down. And the FA Cup is whatever. The FA Cup it doesn't have the same weight as it used to back in the day. It used to have some prestige. Now it's like, you know, if you get it, yeah, at least your team got a trophy. But you want to aim for the Premier League and the Champions League. We're not even in the Champions League this season. And obviously with the new format with that and stuff, yeah, that's wild. With the new Champions League, with the table and stuff, yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, man, as Manchester United coach, you cannot say that you're not going to fight to win the league or the Champions League. I agree with that. Mentally, you can say maybe we don't have that potential, but I cannot say that. We're going to try. You have to try, which is true. You know, you could say that maybe in your head, or you know, maybe but you don't really want to say that out loud because these other teams, they're watching these interviews, they're watching this stuff, and if you're coming out saying, oh, we can't do this, we can't do that, man, we're down. People are, for one, they smell blood. 2, they're feeding on weakness. These other teams are not going to lay down for us and roll out the carpet. They're coming to obliterate. No, like, nobody cares that Man United are down and out. These other teams don't care. They smell blood. They're coming to beat us. Any team in the Premier League that's going to come up against Man United in these next games are confident they can get a result. They're coming for blood, man. These teams are not going to lay down for us because we're down and out right now. That's not, no, man. What I wish for Manchester United is what I wish for me, to be the best team they can. You know, obviously Ronaldo still cares about Man United. Like I said, that whole situation with the Glazers and Ten Hag and all that stuff, I think, obviously when I think back to that situation, you remember the papers and stuff, they were calling Ronaldo a black sheep and all that stuff. I remember all that. It's wild how that was almost 2 years ago. That's crazy how fast that time is just going by. That's crazy. It feels like that was like yesterday. It's crazy how fast that time is going by. And it's wild, man. And now Ronaldo, 2 years later, is coming out saying, you know, talk about Ten Hag again. It's crazy how this is coming back up now. It's wild. It's actually wild how this is coming back up. Because I be having phone conversations with my dad about this stuff. I'm like, man, they're not talking about that Ronaldo stuff anymore, that, you know, that World Cup thing or whatever. And now they're actually bringing it back up. It's crazy. That's crazy, man. That's absolutely crazy. So, hey, I got to give them credit for that. Because, you know, I didn't think they would still be talking about this to this point. I thought this would be done. Like, this was almost 2 years ago, and they're still, Ronaldo's even coming out now. Piers Morgan called him a complete idiot the other day. And can you imagine if Ronaldo called Ten Hag a complete idiot on the radio? Whew. I love that club. I'm not that kind of guy that forgets the past. In his 6-year first spell at United, Ronaldo won 3 Premier League titles, the Champions League, 2 League Cups, and an FA Cup. The League Cup is the EFL Cup, and an FA Cup, as well as the FIFA Club World Cup, the Community Shield, before going to Real Madrid in 2009. He rejoined United from Juventus in 2021 and scored a total of 145 goals and 300. He scored 145 goals and 346 appearances for the club. Wow. Before he moved to Al Nassr in December 2022. So from August 2021 to December 2022, that's about, I don't know why my math is off, but that's about a year and a half. He scored 145 goals. That's crazy. With the team that we had under Ali and then under Ten Hag in that Ragnick situation with that, Ragnick and all that stuff, it was that was a wild time. Because, even thinking about Ragnick in that situation where they were, training at 3 a.m, some crazy shit, like at crazy hours. Y'all remember all that stuff. It's wild, man, to think that stuff was almost like 2 years ago. Just a month earlier, Ronaldo had told presenter Piers Morgan he was being betrayed and pushed out in a controversial television interview. After speaking to former United teammate Rio Ferdinand on his podcast, the Portugal forward said that there had been no evolution following former boss Sir Alex Ferguson's retirement in 2013, which after that point, the standards were slowly dropping. United have not won a Premier League title since then, which is correct, but co-owner Sir, I don't know why I'm saying this is correct, don't know this, but co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe wants to restore them to their former glories after purchasing a 25% stake in the club and his Ineos team taking over football operations. Like I said, with Ineos, they own 25%, you guys know this, and really nothing really gets to the Glazers, it all goes to Ratcliffe and all those other guys. And then Ronaldo added, they need to rebuild everything in my opinion. The club needs time to rebuild because it's still one of the best clubs in the world, but they need to change. They understand that this is the only way. This is the way they start to change again the structure of this club, the infrastructure and everything. The owners of the club are investing in the training ground, so I'm happy because things are changing. I believe that the future will be bright. But they don't depend only on the talents. They have to rebuild from the bottom. If not, they cannot compete. It will be impossible. Ronaldo, however, has praised the club's decision to recruit another former teammate, Ruud van Nistelrooy, to Ten Hag's backroom staff. If Ten Hag listens to Ruud van Nistelrooy, maybe he can help himself, he added. I think it can help a lot because he knows the club, and the club should listen to the guys that were there, which Van Nistelrooy is a legend of Manchester United. He was a very, very good Dutch striker for Man United. He is a part of Manchester United's backroom staff with Ten Hag and the other guys that are there, the assistant coaches, all that stuff. And obviously Ruud van Nistelrooy can give some tips, give some game because he was a striker. So obviously the strikers and the forwards can get advice from him. They could get some very, very sound clinic from him because he was a very, very good striker for Dutch and Manchester United. Rio or Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, Gary Neville, Sir Alex Ferguson, you cannot rebuild a club without knowledge. Not guys who work in the office. The people who understand the football are the people who were there in the dressing room. I'm 100% agree. That's why, bringing back former players and stuff, it has its pros and cons, but the pro of it is they've been there, they've done that, they know the deal, they've been in these players' shoes, and the players can kind of relate to it a little bit. So I think that's a good thing. They know how to deal with the players. So I believe that Ruud van Nistelrooy is going to help because he was inside the club. I agree. He knows the club. He knows the fans. If the coach listens to him, I think they can improve a little bit the club. Well, in terms of Ten Hag listening to him, I think he'll take his advice, but you still got to go through Ten Hag. His word is the final word. He is the manager of Manchester United after all. So Ruud van Nistelrooy can tell him something and give him advice, but if Ten Hag doesn't listen and does his own thing, then he's the head coach, so it doesn't really matter. So Ruud van Nistelrooy can give advice, do this, do that, but he still has to go through the main manager, which, it is what it is. He's the main manager of Manchester United. So, let me know what you think down below. That's pretty much it, man. It's just wild, man. Now you got Ronaldo coming on and, saying some stuff about Ten Hag, cracking on him a little bit. Him saying that we can't compete for the Prem and Champions League, him coming out talking about Harry Potter. Him talking about we have the second most trophies behind Man City since he's been there. All this stuff. I mean, it's just wild. And yeah, let me know down below if you agree or disagree. I would love to hear in the comment section down below. And I'm gonna wrap this video up, man. That's pretty much it. It's been Madame She, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm out.